In this video, we're going to talk about project management. In particular, we're going to take a look at the Stevenson's Operations Management textbook, and Chapter 17 discusses, back in Section 17.5, a bank facility that wants to go through and get a new branch opened up. With it, they list 7 different activities that need to happen. They need to locate facilities, order furniture, interview, hire and train, remodel, set up the furniture, and then move in. So if you follow along starting there in section 17.5, you'll see that one of the natural things that happens in project management is we need to take these tasks and turn them into a work breakdown structure. And the work breakdown structure gives us a chance to take and look at all of the major tasks that are happening here. So with the major tasks that are going on, we start with the tasks. We get the facilities ready to move in. We need to manage the furniture. We need to identify employees, and then we need to move in. And again, this is at the highest level of what's going on. You'll see that the actual tasks now really have moved over one area. As a matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and type in here now, tasks. Because as a project manager, one of the most important things that you do is manage the tasks. Task number 1 is the start. We're going to label that as step S. For getting facilities ready, we need to locate the facilities, and then we need to remodel the facilities. The way that things are set up in figure 17.4 of the Stevenson text, this is activity 1 for locate facilities, which is here. And step 5, remodel the facilities, which is in our activity on node, is here in this circle. For furniture, we're taking order furniture from our task list, moving it here, set up furniture, moving it from that side to here. This is step 2, again, based on figure 17.4 and 6. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to identify the employees. We're bringing down the interview, which is activity 3, and we're bringing down hire and train, which is number 4. And then finally, we're going to move in, and that is here. You should see now that what we've done is we've taken all of our tasks, all 7 of them, and we've broken them down into larger groupings, okay? The start, getting things ready, furniture, identifying employees, and then moving in. We've taken the same number that they started with over here, and we've gotten the number of weeks that were also given to us inside the example inside the Stevenson textbook. It will take us 8 weeks to locate the facility, and you can see the rest of them coming down. Another idea, though, that doesn't get incorporated in the text, but that's very important to us, is the discussion of a predecessor. When we're doing a project management, we often can't start one task until another task is complete. So we refer to those things as being predecessors. So we cannot locate the facilities, we can't start that step until we've started overall. So for a predecessor, we have to start before we can get going. Similarly, we can't remodel facilities until we've located them, right? So the predecessor for remodeling facilities is step 1. Back over here now, ordering the furniture. I can't order the furniture until I've located the facility, right? I need to know what type of furniture I need to bring in here. I can't set up the furniture until it's been ordered. I can't start the interview process until we've started the overall project. I can't hire and train until interviews have been completed. And then it's also quite possible that predecessors can be more than one. I can't move in until I've hired and trained everyone, and also I can't move in until the furniture's set up. All right, So this tells us what's happening with our predecessors, gives us an idea of all of the things that have to happen. All right, here's what we refer to as an activity on the node. This is the layout of what's going on. This is the start. This is identifying the facilities. This is remodeling the facilities. This is move-in date. Okay. This is also ordering furniture, setting up furniture. And on the bottom, this is the interviews, and this is training. So you can see that there are flow paths that are going through here that one thing doesn't rely on another. However, predecessors do have to be in alignment here. You know, I can't start 4 until 3 is complete. I can't start 5 until 1 is complete. Once we get our activity on the node completely drawn out, we can take this now and we can start looking at the timing of each one of our activities and when it can be completed. The Stevenson textbook also talks about doing a forward pass. A forward pass says, let's look at the timing. We start with our activity on the node and we move from left to the right. All right. Whenever we put these together, the center number is the number of weeks that it takes us to complete this task. Okay? 8 weeks for this, 6, 3, 11, you get the point. We'll start here at this first branch. Since this is the start, our starting time is 0. It takes us 8 weeks to do it, which means we can complete it on week 8. We'll move up to the next node. We can start as early as 8, correct? It takes us 6 weeks to do it, so 14 weeks is when we will finish. We move on to task 6. We can start on week 14. It takes 3 weeks to finish. We finish on 17. Now let's don't go over here quite yet because we need to go ahead and fill in these other branches. To start task 5, I can't start that until week 8. So 8 is my starting. It takes 11 weeks to do it. 19 weeks is whenever I'll finish this. All right, now down to the bottom node, or bottom set of nodes. I can start on 0. It takes 4 weeks to finish. So the earliest I can complete this is week 4. Bring the 4 over. I can start on week 4. It takes 9 weeks. 13 weeks I can finish. And then finally, we need to look at where all of the arrows come back in. When the arrows come back into a node, I can't start this node until the absolute latest time that everything else finishes, right? I can't start this until this ends at 17, this ends at 19, and this ends at 13. I can't start the process of moving in until we have finished step 5, and step 5 was remodeling the facilities. All right, if that's the way that everything's going to go, I can start on week 19. It takes 1 week to finish it. That gives us 20. Week 20 would be the absolute earliest that we could have this project completely finished. The last thing that we're going to do is a Gantt chart. On the Gantt chart, this is what we're looking for. We want a visual to say, what are we going to do on each week? The weeks are on the bottom. All of our tasks are here. You can see that from this, we are going to start on at the very beginning, week 0, and go through week 8. Locating facilities, ordering the furniture happens immediately after that. I can start interview at the same time. And you can see that each one of these is a visual of what has happened inside of this. To make this, one oddity whenever we're using Excel, if you're using other software, the software will do all of this for you, such as if you were using Microsoft Project. However, if we're having to do this in Excel, we're going to use a stacked chart. And in a stacked chart, whenever it gets put in, things are in reverse order. So you will see that locate facilities is down here at the bottom. It starts week 0, lasts for 8 weeks. Order furniture is the next task, and we just end up in reverse order putting things in. Once those are in there, we will take and highlight this. You can go to Insert. We're going to do a bar chart. We'll click on Recommended Charts because it's really under All Charts. And inside All Charts, it's a bar chart, and then it's stacked. And in the stacked bar chart, when we click OK, one of the things that you'll notice whenever this pops up is that it puts in this blue as well. And the blue is just kind of a holding value. If you right-click on the blue, it will highlight all of those blue columns. You can format the data series, go to Fill, click on No Fill, and at that point, it gets rid of those for you. You can also left-click here, change this to Gantt with 2 T's, Chart, and if you don't want some of these other things, we can just left-click on it and delete it, make it go away. All right, the task that we're going to do, that you are going to do now, is that, let me pull back over here, and once again we have taken an activity, we moved it to a WBS, we've set up all of our steps, predecessors, the amount of time in our WBS, we've set up the activity on a node, we've done the forward pass, and we've created a Gantt chart. Now here's a problem. Whenever you've gone through and you've discussed this with the boss, you realize that there are 3 things that are completely missing from this task list. Number 1, you can't set up the furniture until it arrives. You need 2 weeks for the furniture to arrive after it is ordered. So you need to add this step. And so this step can't begin until after the furniture is ordered, and it must happen before you can set up the furniture. Another thing that's going on is you can't start interviews until you post the job on the internet and the website. It's going to take you approximately 3 weeks just to get the job posted. So this must happen before the interviews. Finally, you also need to get computers. So with the computers can start at any time for the ordering process, but it's going to take you about 2 weeks to order it, 6 weeks for them to come in, and then finally, it's going to take IT about 3 weeks to set up the computers after they get there. Right. What you need to do is go back in here and create a new activity list, work breakdown structure, activity node, forward pass, Gantt chart with these new things in it. It's going to require you to adjust this and add to the new steps. It will require you to add new work breakdown structure. You're going to have a major task of computers with steps that go in here. You're going to need to add to this node, just as a suggestion when you get ready to do this. You can, if you left click on any of the items and then copy it, okay, you can copy it a couple of different ways. You can just copy here, and then you can, once it's in there, you can paste it. At that point, you can change the number. All right, well, let's put a new number in it. You can move, you can left click, you can drag these around. You can move things into place. You can come up here to Insert, and on Shapes is what we're looking for. You can left click and create new lines in here. All right. So you can just copy and paste and make this make it move around until it fits for you. Once you've done that, you can take and copy all of it, bring it down, and paste all of it into a new location if you want. And then you can copy these and bring them down as you see fit as well. All right. Hopefully, this gives you an idea of where we're going to go with this activity, gives you a good idea of how to do project management from being able to take your tasks, create a work breakdown structure, make an activity on node diagram, complete your forward pass, and then create the Gantt chart. All right, good luck out there.